Now, coming to the courts, you are asking um, the litigation problems and other things. The biggest problem is Shirur Mutt said, went by the Western definition, church oriented definition, still there was a scope. It said a common name, a common faith, and an organization. And the organization need not be a brick and mortar organization because Shirur Mutt said, the judgment it was said, spiritual organization. But the courts reinvent the definition again and again, and they add the words, they must be an organization. Why should it be an organization? The difference between the Western religions and the Indic religions are that they are exclusive. In a church, from birth to baptism to burial, only the church members can participate. A Catholic child will not be baptized in the Protestant church. Similarly, their burial grounds will not open for another denomination. But in Hindus, it's not like that. I may have an Acharya, I may be a Shaivite, but I will not be stopped going to a Vaishnavite Acharya or to a Vaishnavite temple or inviting the Vaishnavite Acharya to my humble house. The Acharya will grace me. It is so inclusive. And courts are now saying, no, there are all sort of people are coming to Shabarimala, so it's not a denomination. Who said so? As Professor said, the denominational or the Sampradaya will be determined by the rituals, by the agamas of the deity. There are 5 major Ayyappa temples in Kerala, of which Shabarimala temple, Ayyappa temple, is a different temple. It is not open throughout the year. It is open only for a few days in a month. You have to observe penance to go there. It's a different temple. And the Lord, who in his avatar there, is in a different form. He is an Aishtika Brahmachari. So, the deity, the form, the avatar, or the paddhati by which he is consecrated, that determines the sampradaya of the temple. And those who follow that sampradaya need to be there in the religious affairs as well as the administrative affairs. How many times do we tell this to the court? You said that Dr. Swami's arguments were perhaps weak. No, they were not weak. Let me assure you. They were one of the strongest arguments ever placed. The act, the Uttarakhand Act itself talks about denominations, but that is denied in the judgment. More loyal than the king. I'm sure the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, will overturn this judgment, set it aside, and restore the religious and administrative rights of various sampradayas. You cannot mix Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, and Badrinath into one roll, one unit. You cannot mix their income. It is not done. They are different. Of course, the same people might go to all the char dhams. If God willing, they have the bhagyam, they will go. But these 4 are different temples. Who is the government to take over them in the name of development? Only for instances of proven mismanagement you can take over a religious institution, and that includes Christian and Islamic institutions also, but which is never carried out. You can take over Christian institutions under the Societies Act or whatever, their registered trust or whatever, but nobody does that. But Hindu temples, if there is a mismanagement in one particular area, supposing they say there are 3 festivals in the temple, and in one of the festivals, and on the 3rd day there is some corruption, they take over the entire temple forever. There is no period of operation mentioned in any of the orders of the takeover. And in Shabarimala judgment, the Supreme Court said, when the period of operation is not mentioned in the order of takeover, it is per se arbitrary, illegal, and unjust. That order needs to be thrown to the dustbin. Let me tell you, in Tamil Nadu, 70 main temples, government has been a squatter from 13th December 1951. It is 70 years ago that Honorable Division Bench of the Madras High Court declared certain provisions by which they had taken over these temples, and the judgment of the division bench was upheld by Shirur Mutt judgment, but still the government has not left these temples. They are still there. So the government is an encroacher, the government is a squatter, and Hindus are blissfully ignorant of it. Dr. Swami Dayanand Saraswati's case is languishing in Supreme Court from 2012. There has not been a single effective hearing so far. Single effective hearing. There have been hearings, but none of the points mentioned in the petition were discussed so far. And this is a case about millions and millions of Hindus, their fundamental rights. If the Babus, if the politicians are a problem for denying Hindus their fundamental rights, courts taking their own time or courts repeating itself is a big problem. What needs to be decided in 15 minutes, they take 15 years, especially in temple matters. There is a case pending from Pondicherry about a matha for about 23 years. And finally, when the matter came for hearing, they said tag it along with Dayanand Saraswati Swami case. And after tagging, it's waiting for another 6 years now. The delays of court, as Shakespeare said, is a major problem. And it's a problem for Hindus. We go to the court with precedents, with the constitution, and yet we just get notice issued. We go to the court with proofs of the Babus misusing the money, diverting the money. We don't get a final order for years together. That has been my main problem.